Yeah. All right. So my subject is a long one: collaboration platform for public and private actors in educational games development. And this is because this is connected to an EU project, and so I guess you know that they are always like have lots of aspects.
What is the name of the EU project?
I will come to that.
It's come.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and my collaborators are Leenu Juurola and Maija Nuorteva. Leenu is from Heureka Science Center in Helsinki area, and Maija Nuorteva is with University of Helsinki, and they are together with me in this project. So I will first explain about this particular project a little bit and how it's connected to other projects, and then discuss a little bit of these modes of collaboration, how to start creating games, educational games, with multiple collaborators, and a little bit about the challenges and then conclusions. And as you see from the logos, so there are lots of actors involved in this project. So the whole project is called Kuusi Aika, means 6 cities project, and it has 100 million EU money, euros. And there are lots of sub-projects, so my particular sub-project is a small one, less than 1 million. This develops innovation platforms. I don't know if anybody knows about that concept, but the idea is that there are environments where different actors can collaborate, developing new products, services, and markets, and so that the entire community somehow could participate in that and create businesses. And this collaboration platform then will describe how the whole process is planned to take place. And because this is now done with project money, so it allows agile trials and trials that may not succeed. Yeah, so our project is called EduDigi, and we have it in 3 cities, 3 of the 6 cities. Espoo, which is next to Helsinki, Vantaa, which is also next to Helsinki, so those are suburbs of Helsinki, and Oulu, which is in northern Finland. And my university, Metropolia University of Applied Sciences, is the leader of the project. University of Helsinki is providing this pedagogical views. Oulu University of Applied Sciences is doing projects together like my university, and then we have these 2 science centers, which are Tietomaa is in Oulu and Heureka is in Vantaa. And this is, I guess it's hard to get anything out of it, but this is the picture of the whole project. So there are there's the platform, there are users, so children who play games, companies who develop games, then there's the expertise that comes from the universities and also from teachers and schools and so on. So this platform is like overall picture of it. And this is I find it very difficult when I cannot move. This is how Oulu city has planned to implement the platform. So they have the University of Applied Sciences have a lab where students develop games. So there is a course or module that takes half a year, and they develop some game, and usually they get orders from local companies, maybe, or maybe they have their own ideas. And then sometimes they develop their own startup company based on this collaboration. And now the idea is their number 3, I think, is this educational expertise that comes from the Faculty of Education, and they are planning to take the University of Oulu as well there. And then the games are tested in these science centers, which is called Tietomaa in case of Oulu, and then they bring in school groups with their teachers to play with the games and develop them. And so this is like what I was already saying a little bit. So for example, we have developed one game in our game lab, so the information technology students and media students have developed, programmed a game based on the definitions by vocational teachers how to teach electrical installations. And then we tested that game with several groups of students. And I will have, let me see if this now works.
It's a video?
Yeah, it's a video. I just, there is no sound, so that's, so maybe I think it's okay that there is no sound because it's spoken in Finnish. But this showed in the beginning that the guy is starts testing the game on computer, and then the game is to make the electrics in a small building, and if they make something wrong, then they have to start again, and so on. So maybe this one is. Yeah, you can see how it goes, and then I go back to my presentation from here. Sicherheitswarnung. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the science centers, they have a very well-established practice already. So they have had like 60 or 70 school groups coming to play with games under development. And sometimes this process happens so that the company comes with just ideas, and then the children provide their own ideas more, and then they build some kind of prototype, and then the children come again and try that one, and then they give their feedback. And, or sometimes it's that the game is almost done, and the children come to test it, and then they do the final tuning, and then they again come to test it. So here we have a group of, sometimes the games are not really like games, they are just mobile applications or navigation applications, but this is obviously a game, and there is my co-author Leenu is in the middle of the picture, and she's like supervising these. I think these are something like 15-year-old school kids playing the games. So the model, we want to call it co-creation, because that's like we want to emphasize the involvement of the children, the users of the games, and not so that it's not that they are given a game, but they can give their input and influence how it's done. And also there is some aspect of business education, so that they see how small companies like act and how the innovation process starts. So this has been very, well, because we had already had like these 70 groups and so on, and the feedback has been collected in different ways. So it's been a very successful procedure, and they are trying to sell, well, import or bring the procedure to other science centers in other Europe. For example, the Estonian Science Center has already tried this same kind of model, even though it's quite a lot of work, but that's what it is when you develop products. So this is like basically their process, and I think I can still show my other video a little bit. This is Tieto. Yeah, so this kind of game was developed by a company called Koodikoulu, and she is the director of that one. And there she first presents, it's a mobile game, presents to the children, and says that well, it's a pity that they are commenting on Finnish, so I don't put it, but they give very sharp comments on what didn't work in the game, and it was a little bit funny that the same button didn't work the same way, and so on. So the young people are pretty, well, honest in the commenting. And here in the end, we will see that these sessions are very exciting. Yeah, maybe the sound would add. Okay, so you can see that they're very interactive sessions, and also we have lots of fun when we are dealing with these children. So what we have found. If we talk about the research method, so this is where we call it innovation action research, which comes from the business world, how to develop new products, but it's not much different from design-based research and so on. So we follow what's going on and try to develop the procedures during that. And there are certain things about what we can notice, that like games companies, of course, they want to make money. That's the first thing what they want to do. And they are used to like measuring the games in like how attracted the players are to the games and so on, and they don't think that educational goals are so important. They don't feel that they need much help in understanding what makes an educationally good game. So there is certainly some need for educating the companies in this aspect. Of course, these ones who were interviewed there, they understood that. But then educators are tied to the curriculum. So there is certain things that they have to teach every year and every semester and so on. So sometimes they find it difficult to take a game and put it as a part of the education. And we had there's a company called Rovio that made a game called Angry Birds. You might have heard of Angry Birds, it was famous. So they also started developing an educational game called Big Bang Legends. And that, what it teaches is high school physics and the elementary system of chemistry and things like that. But the game is for primary school age kids. So it's very hard to fit that into any curriculum because the game company just wants to have a game that entertains the kids, and teachers want to have something that helps them to fulfill their needs of what kind of outcome is expected. So this is one issue. And then there are, of course, these like financial issues. So who is going to pay for this whole thing? Now EU is paying, that's fine, but it's only a few months anymore. And after that, we have to like develop some models how to get it viable. And then there's, of course, the intellectual property rights when so many people are involved in this innovation process. So who has the right to the product and so on. So we've been developing this kind of contracts and forms. Then, of course, when there are children, so this privacy, are we allowed these videos? We got the permission to show these kids enjoying the game, but that's quite a lot of work as well. And then these game companies have their own organizational cultures, and they don't necessarily understand that actually in school world things do not go so quickly, and you need permissions from here and there, and you need to find the time slot for the testing and so on. But this is something that, for example, these science centers have like tried to organize in a smooth way so we could get it done. And here's again, this is one other game, so here they are developing new ideas for this one. And so just to conclude, So as I said, the content and entertainment is the big issue in educational games. I think always. So how to make a game that really teaches things, but still students like it and feel that it's their game. But basically, in my paper, I present some statistics on different surveys and so on. But usually, children, young people, they are very eager to use games and so on. So they have no problems with that. But then sometimes teachers, and especially like in vocational education, they don't want to touch this kind of thing. They want to stay away from the modern technology, and they don't want to change the way they teach. So this is something I think we need to address. Like they said already in this Austria, that the skills of the teachers, ICT, digital skills of the teachers, are something that need really to be addressed, and the motivation for doing it. And so this way of what we do, this design-based research, so this agile way, doing things in small increments, coming back, developing a little bit more, this iterative model, which is in modern software development, it's in game development, is the only way actually to do things. So that's the very clear finding. But the sound earning model is still somewhere we have to find it, right? And there's somebody who takes the ownership of this whole process. And I think that's all. So I get the schedule, and now you can start asking.
It's perfect.